homesteading to prepping to common horse sense, we are College Hill Farm. Welcome back to College Hill Farm. Well, today was going to be a hay cutting video, but it's not going to be that because before I did my hay, there was a little section that needed some bush hogging. So I decided to go ahead and bush hog that section. Now, you never know what you're going to get into when you start bush hogging a piece of ground that hasn't been cut in years. So everything you put on your homestead, let me say it again, everything you put down on your homestead, whether it's a tarp, string, nylon twine, whatever, fence wire, pieces of wire, they wind up tied up in your implements. Let's take a look and see what I'm talking about. What do you see? That is an old piece of tarp that now is wound up in my bush hog, and I'm going to have to do something about it. That's the way my day is going to go. So I have to root out the rest of that tarp, which is buried in the weeds, and get it out of my bush hog here. So I guess I need to get at getting it out of the bush hog. Okay, that's the way it goes. It's wound up in there so much that it will stall the tractor. So I've got to get under there and start getting that cleared off. It's 7 in the morning and it's already like 65 or 75, 77 degrees, something like that. So it's going to be a hot one today. I think scheduled for 92. So I'm going to have to get at that this morning. So mowing's probably off today altogether. It's supposed to rain tomorrow, so I don't know what I'm going to do. Anyway, I'm going to get this off and you can see the struggle. First things first, if you're going to get under this bush hog, like I have to this morning, do not trust your tractor hydraulics to do the job of holding it up. Is your tractor hydraulics going to fail? Probably not. Could they fail? Absolutely they could. And I'm old and fat and slow. So it would be tough for me to be able to get out from under this before it could come down on me, even if it was just a hydraulic line that came loose. Now, your lift is not subject to hydraulic lines like the bucket, but that don't matter. I've seen this lift come down on this tractor. So I'm not going to be stupid. I'm going to go ahead and put jack stands under it. And I'm going to do it on both sides. Okay, this jack stand is a little bucked, so I'm going to lift up, straighten it out. See, I couldn't lift that. If that come down on you, you couldn't lift it. Now it's on there good and solid. Let's check, make sure the other side's still solid. And it is, and it's not twisted. So now it's safe to get under that. Never, never, never get under a hydraulic implement without supporting it. Never, never, never. It'll kill you. Okay, so let's get under here and see if I can't get that fixed up. But before I do that, this is pavement. I'm going to get out the broom so that I'm not laying on little gravels. I'll go ahead and sweep it off and then I'll come back to you. Okay, let's get under here. This mobility issues are tough on old men, but I'm going to try and get you under here where you can see. I don't know how well I'll be able to do that. I try and bring you along to let you see when I screw up and when I do good, and because this is a journey. It's not a short trip, it's a marathon, not a sprint. You're going to run into stuff on your homestead that's going to be exactly wrong. Don't be afraid to do wrong. Okay? Don't be afraid to screw up. Just get things done that you need to do. Alright, I'll try and get you under here. My tripod's a little too high, but I might be able to take the camera off the tripod. We'll just have to see and play it by ear. Okay, this is what I'm looking at. I've got a tarp balled up in here. Now, I didn't know if this tarp had wires in it. I didn't know if I'd get up under here and find some wires. The one thing I like about bush hogs is they've got these great big old blades, but they've got this that keeps stuff from getting up under here and winding up in the upper part of the bush hog. Sometimes you can get a wire back in there, and that's really a pain. But let's see if I can get some of this just unwound. You can turn these and get them back in the right direction. So this may be a little easier than I thought it was going to be. Oh, yeah, that one's wound up pretty good and locked in. Let's have a look over there, let you see what I'm talking about. Oh. This one's all wound up. So I'm going to take the scissors. I brought out three things. I brought out heavy duty shears, lineman's pliers, and then heavy duty lineman's pliers. So I think I'm just going to use the scissors and see if I can't cut that away. Ha! Luck. Luck, 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 luck. It was a little easier than I figured it was going to be. Now, you can see under the bottom of your bush hog, just like your mowing deck, it gets a coating of this stuff. Now, every spring, I pick this bush hog up and pressure wash out from under it. Or every fall, I'm sorry, every fall. I pick it up and pressure wash out from under it and give it a nice coating of oil. It'll last a lot longer if you do that. I just spray it with white lithium grease. But there's nothing that you shouldn't do like this. You can do it, but just make sure you do it safely. You know, you can get in an awful shape if you just screw up. Now, this, of course, it spins in this direction. Okay, so the So the cutting part is over here. I'm going to take you off the tripod. Okay, here's the cutting part right there. You notice it's got some big nicks in it. You know, that happens. It's not sharp at all, really. It's just down to a point, and that point is about a 1/16 or an 1/8 of an inch thick. Okay, this part is about an 1/8 of an inch thick, because if you hit something, you need it to be tough. And I've hit something there, probably a rock or something, made a nice little check in it. It just swings on these swivels. Okay, so if it hits something, these can move. Okay, they're just held in by centripetal force. So they're flung out when it's moving, and they can move in when it's not. You know, so if something happens that you hit something too big, they swing like that so that they don't break. Okay, they're heavy duty little deals. So it's a typical day on my homestead. 10 minutes of work, 20 minutes of problem solving. Everything that gets laid on your property will wind up in your bush hog, in your tiller, and it will cause you to have to get this stuff loose. Now, why would I stop just for this little bit of tarp? Why would I stop and take it loose? One of these wound up that gets in a barren will smoke it. Okay, whether it's a bush hog or your tiller, this stuff wound up next to the barren end of your implement can cause premature barren wear, because it puts pressure on the barren in ways that it shouldn't have pressure on it. Now, it's time for me to get back to mowing. At least this only took me about 20 minutes to solve. Now, if you like this kind of stuff, this homestead and do-it-yourself kind of thing, be certain to come on out to the channel and subscribe. We do this homesteading stuff every week, sometimes 1, sometimes 5 videos. Just depends on what's going on in the homestead that week. Now, if you hit the little bell when you come to the channel, it'll notify you when we upload a video. We upload every Sunday. With that being said, it's time for me to get on to the next thing.